to my channel. Today we are talking legal documents, okay? As you can see from the title of the video, we're going to be talking how to acquire a Chinese working visa in South Africa. Obviously, when you get to China, you have to apply for one that will last you 12 months, right? The one that you apply for in South Africa only lasts you 1 month. Right, so today we're going to be specifically focusing on the one that lasts you 1 month, the one that you apply for in South Africa. We're not only going to be focusing on how to apply for the visa in South Africa, but also how to acquire all the documents that are needed to apply for the visa. Right, so I'm going to be taking you through the process step by step so that by the end of this video you don't have any questions. But if you do have any questions, you're more than welcome to leave a comment down below. You can always get an agent for this, right? But if you're one of those people who can't afford an agent or who has enough time to do it on your own, then why not? So let's get right into it. Firstly, I'll try not to refer too much to my notes, but also I'm afraid that I'm gonna miss out critical information. I want to share with you all the information that I have. Also, I'm going to try and break down this video into two, right? The first video is going to be mainly about the process itself. The second video is going to be about tips. Basically, it's going to be about my experience when I was busy with the process, as well as some of the things that no one tells you about. So firstly, you need to get your police clearance certificate. For those of you who don't know, the police clearance certificate is a certificate that shows all the criminal activities that you have been involved in, right? So it needs to be clear of any criminal offenses. So that certificate you can always do at the police station. Any police station, right? So when you get to a police station, you're going to be asked to like fill in a form, right, of your personal information, and then you're going to go to the ink room where you're going to get your fingers inked so that you can get your fingerprints on paper. It also costs 114 rands to do that. The police officer is going to take your application, which is your fingerprints on paper, as well as your personal information, to the Criminal Records Center, right? So once the Criminal Records Center in Pretoria receives your application, they will inform you by means of an SMS to let you know that we have received your application and we are working on it, right? So you will hear people saying you received the first SMS, second SMS. That is what the first SMS entails, just to let you know that they have received your application, right? They will also send you a second SMS informing you that your police clearance certificate has been produced and is ready for collection, right? So that usually takes about 2 to 6 weeks, right? It can be longer depending on where you're applying for it. As soon as you've received your SMS to let you know that your police clearance certificate is available, you can then go collect it at the police station where you've applied for it. Some people go to the Criminal Records Center. I don't know how that works if you go collect it yourself at the Criminal Records Center, but I went to collect it at the police station where I've applied for it. So once you get your police clearance certificate, it needs to be authenticated, right? So to authenticate your police clearance certificate, you need to go to DIRCO. DIRCO is the Department of International Relations and Cooperation in Pretoria. Basically what they do at DIRCO is they take whatever document that you've given them and just prove that this document is actually legit. That's basically what they do at DIRCO, right? So that's where you take your police clearance for authentication. If you have less than 5 documents to authenticate at DIRCO, receive them back in a day. But if you have more than 5 documents, unfortunately, you have to wait for about 3 days in order to get them back, right? After you have received your authenticated police clearance certificate from DIRCO, you then take it to the Chinese embassy. The Chinese embassy is also in Pretoria, about 5 minutes drive from DIRCO. So basically, both of these places, DIRCO and the Chinese embassy, What they both do is they just check if all your documents are legit. They both have their own stamps to certify that this document is actually legit. Once you drop off your document at the Chinese embassy, you will have to wait at least 3 days in order to get it back. You don't have to pay anything at DIRCO as well as the Chinese embassy. I will state everything that needs to be paid for, okay? The second document that you need to authenticate is your qualification. So to authenticate your qualifications, when I did my documents a few months ago, I went to the Department of Higher Education. But apparently that is scratched out. You need to now email the South African Qualifications Authority. I will leave the email address in the description box below so that you can email them in order to verify your qualifications. So what they basically do is verify that this qualification that you've received from this specific university is valid. Once your documents are verified by the South African Qualifications Authority, you then take those verified documents to DIRCO for authentication. At DIRCO, they're going to authenticate them the same way they authenticate your police clearance certificate, right? And after DIRCO, the same process applies. You then take it to the Chinese embassy for further authentication, right? And that takes 3 days. The third document that you need to authenticate is your TEFL certificate. The process that the TEFL certificate needs to go through is as follows. Firstly, you need to get your TEFL certificate notarized, and that is only if you acquired your TEFL certificate outside South Africa, right? And most of these TEFL courses that we're doing online are acquired from different countries. If you've acquired your TEFL certificate from an institution that is outside South Africa, South African Qualifications Authority cannot verify that that qualification is actually legit. The notary is the one that needs to verify that this qualification that you've acquired from somewhere, wherever you've acquired it from, is actually legit. So that's what that guy does. So the cost of notarizing your TEFL certificate is between 150 to 1,000 rands, depending on where you get it notarized, right? So once your TEFL certificate is notarized, the next step is then to take it to the High Court. So what they do at the High Court is they put a stamp to the paper that you got from the notary public, as well as your TEFL certificate, the copy that is, the copy of your TEFL certificate. They verify that the person who notarized your certificate is actually legally registered to practice as a notary public. That's it. So that's what they do. They have a seal and a stamp to accompany their authentication or verification, right? So once the High Court is done verifying your TEFL certificate, that's when you can take it to DIRCO for authentication, as well as the Chinese embassy. The fourth document that you need is a passport. We all know that you go to Home Affairs to apply for your passport. It takes about 2 weeks and it's about 400 rands. Simple as that. So once you acquire your passport, you just keep it until the very last step, right? So the fifth, it's not a document. The fifth thing that you need is a passport photo. Passport photos, right? Try to get both the hard copies as well as a soft copy. The sixth document that you need, which is optional because it actually depends from school to school. You need to do a full body medical examination report of yourself. You're going to need to use a standard form that you need to give to your doctor to fill in. There's a standard form that they use. Most agents do give you the standard form. I don't know how much a full body medical examination costs because I was using my medical aid to get that done. I don't know how much it costs, guys, but I'm pretty sure that you can get it for free at a government hospital. But if you want to go to a private institution, I guess it depends from institution to institution. The seventh document that you need to acquire is the recommendation letter. It also depends from school to school or from company to company because not everyone needs it, right? Actually depends on the province. It depends on which province you're going to. If you're fresh from varsity and you've never worked a day in your life, obviously you won't have a recommendation letter. But watch my next video. I have a very good tip for you. Those are all the documents that you need to acquire in order to apply for the working visa. I'd advise you to acquire all the documents, as in the police clearance certificate, your degree, verify your degree, notarize your TEFL, and take all of them all at once to DIRCO as well as to the Chinese embassy. That minimizes the amount of times that you need to go to DIRCO as well as the Chinese embassy. So once you've acquired all your authenticated documents, you then scan them to your employer or agent in China, and then they apply for your work permit. So that's when they're going to ask you for your passport photos and a scanned copy of your passport and so forth. And then that takes about, it depends on which province you're applying for. So mine took about 2 weeks. So some people don't wait that long. Some people wait for like a week and some people wait for more than 2 weeks. It just depends on the province that you're going to. So after applying for the work permit, what they receive in return is an invitation letter for you to come to China. So that invitation letter will be sent to you by the employer or agent. They send you an invitation letter. Please make sure that they send you both the Chinese and the English version of the invitation letter, right? So once you get that letter, that's when you can actually go and apply for the working visa at the visa application center. That is the last step that you need to do. So when you get to the visa application center, which is in Sandton, if you're in Gauteng, if you're in Cape Town, I don't know where it is, you can either apply for your visa online or you can apply manually when you get there, right? It doesn't take long to apply for it manually. I will leave the online application link in the description box below for those who want to apply online. So the documents that they're going to need at the visa application center are your passport photo, your passport, as well as your invitation letter in both Chinese and English. So you're going to apply for the Z visa or Z visa, whatever they call it. And if your application is successful, they will then SMS you to let you know that you can collect it. And that is usually after 3 days. Then after 3 days, you go collect it and pay about 860. I'm not sure if it has went up this year because I did my documents in December last year. And yeah, basically that's it. That's the whole process, guys. I hope you understood everything I said. I hope it was clear enough. I hope it was informative. Please let me know if it was clear enough in the comment section below. And yeah, good luck and thank you for watching.